Hey folks, welcome to this week's review of Raw. Hell of a show this week. We're the last Raw before WrestleMania, and my god, they killed it this week. This was a pretty badass show, sort of top to bottom. Starting off, we had Sting come out, sort of giving his whole spiel on why is he here, why is he fighting Triple H. And he's fighting Triple H not because he's the voice of WCW, and he wants to get back at the WWE, because he doesn't like what Triple H has done. I liked it. A lot of people compared it to Wrestling Isn't Wrestling, which is a great YouTube video if you haven't seen it. But that was really cool. That brought out Steph. Steph gets up in Sting's face. They trade a whole bunch of verbal jabs back and forth. Steph goes to slap him. Sting catches her hand, which brings out Triple H. Triple H comes out to the ring, goes down, checks on Steph, takes the jacket off, pulls out the sledgehammer. Or he goes up to get in the ring. Steph hands him the sledgehammer. At that point, Sting pulls the baseball bat out of his jacket. Why is Triple H surprised? Maybe he hasn't watched WCW. Maybe he didn't watch Impact Wrestling. But Sting always has his baseball bat. It always fits in his jacket. But it was a great segment. I liked it. Triple H basically backs off. He's going to fight him on his own terms. He's not going to get in the ring while Sting has the bat. Great way to kick off Raw. And it was really cool to see Sting out there and actually have him speak. Especially after last 2 weeks ago's pseudo promo by Sting that was read by somebody else that was really weird. This worked. This worked really well. After that, we have R-Truth and Dean Ambrose versus Stardust and Luke Harper. I believe we also had Bad News Barrett on commentary for this. Great back and forth match between these guys. In the end, R-Truth and Ambrose do win this one. More hype for the IC ladder match is basically what this was. Post-match, R-Truth out there dancing. And then Ambrose sort of tries to get in on it too. It was a cool match, and it made the guys look like they're having fun. And as everyone played their role great. Harper was like his sort of normal psychotic self, and Stardust was just Stardust. It was well done. After that, we had Renee Young come out and make their announcement about the Special Olympics and supporting them in LA for 2015. This killed the audience. I know they love their charity events. They love to bring people out and talk about them. But the audience was having none of this. They did their pan to the crowd after the segment was over, and everyone's sitting on their phones, texting and checking their email. Didn't come off very well. After that, we had a 10-man match. I guess the sort of big thing was we had more Miz and Mizdow drama. We still haven't actually had official separation there, so we'll probably get that at WrestleMania in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. God, we need an acronym for that. But in the end, the other team did win, so it's Ryback, the Primetime Players, Eric Rowan, and Zack Ryder. Yes, Ryder's on TV, and he got a win. My god, it's the end of the world, folks. After this, we had Randy Orton versus the opponent of the fans' choosing. Will they choose Big Show? Will they choose Kane? Or will it be Rollins and J&J Security? It's Rollins and J&J Security. Ever since Taboo Tuesday, when we all voted for Christian, they only give us one choice that matters. Hey, vote in this poll that doesn't really matter because we know that everyone's going to vote for this one thing. This match, however, came out... This was super cool. This was the match that they needed to hype Orton versus Rollins for WrestleMania. The entire match was basically Orton wanting to fight Rollins, and Rollins sending J&J Security in after him. Only after he's got both of them completely laid out does Rollins even get into the ring, and at that point, Orton turns around and he bails. This was perfect. This was J&J Security being the bodyguards, being the goon squad, getting the crap kicked out of him, and Rollins being too cowardly to fight Orton head-on. This is perfect. It plays into Rollins' character perfectly. It keeps the crowd booing him, because if we watch him keep doing Phoenix Splashes, we all want to cheer for him. But when he's that cowardly of a villain, perfect. It's old school. It's like old Ric Flair. It's Hollywood Hogan. It's that entire conduit of cowardly heels. It's perfect. Everyone wants to be the cool heel. He's okay being the, oh my god, I'm not going to fight you. I love it. After that, we had a backstage segment where we found out that Nikki Bella has offered a title shot to either Paige or AJ. They, however, have to decide. AJ knows it's a trap. Paige says, I know it's a trap too, but if you're not going to take it, I'm going to take it. So we get Paige versus Nikki Bella for the Divas title. And this was a killer match. Great back and forth action. Nikki's really sort of playing up that powerhouse role at this point. I do dig the whole, like, I knock you down, I do push-ups beside you while you're getting up. It's working well. And the announcers are actually talked about the match. They were talking about Give Divas a Chance, so somebody is listening, especially after the negative backlash last week of give Divas a chance, give us a break. So I thought it looked really good. At the end, it's Paige tosses Nikki outside. She follows. AJ tosses Brie into the sidewall to basically keep her out of the action. Paige comes up behind AJ, and AJ basically elbows her, thinking it's Nikki. At that point, Nikki actually does hit Paige, throws her in the ring, hits her with the finisher, and gets the pinfall. Post-match, AJ tries to apologize, and you get the big brawl between Paige and AJ. You know, it's a simple formula, but it worked. We all saw that they weren't going to get along at the end. But, you know, it was a fun trip, and it was a good wrestling match. I enjoyed it. After that, we had Snoop Dogg comes out. And because we're giving Divas a chance, he has his entourage of Divas. So, there's that. But he's out there giving his whole little spiel at SnoopMania, which brings out the often imitated, never eliminated Kurt Axel. Kurt Axel comes out there, gets up in Snoop Dogg's face, and Snoop Dogg, in sort of perfect fashion, is like, oh, you're the guy that was talking trash on Twitter. Got it. Not interested. But, you know, you got SnoopMania, you got Axelmania. There's only one other Mania you really need, and we bring out Hulk Hogan. We get Real American, the crowd goes wild. Hogan's out there doing all the motions, poses for the crowd, and Snoop Dogg's on it. And he is like move for move in sync with Hogan, which is awesome to see. The guy's a real fan. At that point, he gets up in Axel's face. Axel does the Hulk Hogan shirt tear. At which point, he goes to throw a punch at Hogan. Hogan blocks it, knocks him down. At that point, Snoop Dogg takes him, grabs him, tosses him over the top rope. Okay, I guess maybe now Curtis Axel has been eliminated from the Battle Royale. I guess we'll see what happens. Overall, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It's great to see. Curtis Axel might be the butt of the joke at the end of the day, but he's the butt of the joke with Snoop Dogg and Hulk Hogan. Like, that's awesome. After that, we have our 6-person interspecies match, being El Torito and Los Matadores versus Cesaro, Kid, and Natalya. I wanted to like this match. I liked it up until the end. It was good wrestling. It was Kid keeping Natalya out of the match. Every time she gets tagged in, he'd tag himself back in. Same sort of heel behavior we've seen from before. However, at the end of the match, Torito gets in there. He faces off with Natalya. He kicks out of the discus clothesline, which has been her finisher, which has put away God knows how many people, but unfortunately the little bull kicks out of it. And he does get the pinfall victory, rolling her up after reversing a powerbomb attempt. Wrestling 101. Never, ever attempt to powerbomb a masked luchador. It doesn't work. Ever. Later on that night, we got an interesting segment. We see Natalya sort of backstage doing her hair or something, and Tyson walks in with the bag of Burger King, And he's talking like, oh, you know what? You smell so good. And she's thinking he's talking about her. He's talking about the chicken fries. He loves chicken fries. She finally sees that, oh, he's talking about the food, not her. And she starts eating them. Voila, product placement. Natalya has to have a hell of a sense of humor, is what I'm getting out of all of this. After that, we have Rusev versus Jack Swagger. And this is the third, fourth, fifth time that Rusev has decimated Jack Swagger in a similar fashion. Utterly destroys him. Locks on the Accolade. Swagger taps out. Rusev wins. And Rusev won't break the hold, which brings out John Cena. And then Cena gets his ass kicked by Rusev. Basically thrown around, smashed on the announce table, over the announce table, into the barricade, with the Accolade locked on him as well, and he basically passes out on the announce table. I guess this is supposed to make Cena the underdog going in. I'm still not sold on the match. Cena's not marketing towards my age demographic, but still, like, if they wanted to do this, if you took all of the hype you put around Cena and you gave that to Jack Swagger, and we had our All-American with Zeb Coulter with a WrestleMania hyped push towards Rusev, this would be entertaining. With Cena, I don't care. After this, we got a great Bray Wyatt promo. You can't describe a Bray Wyatt promo. That just does not work. But it was awesome. He basically dubs himself the new face of fear. I love the fact that halfway through the lights start to flicker, we hear the rumbles of thunder. And he's like, I control all the powers now. I control the light and the darkness. I was waiting for him to be like, I control the lights and the sound. Look at me. Woo, supernatural. But he took it to that next level, which I'm okay with. I like playing with the supernatural elements. I just didn't think that's where he's going. And he did end it kneeling in the ring doing the "You shall rest in peace" pose, which is pretty cool. After that, we get the big announcement that, yes, Kevin Nash, or Diesel. Even the promo doesn't know what to call him. Half the promo calls him Nash, half the promo calls him Diesel. And it's new and old footage doing the same. He shall be in the Hall of Fame, and he's going to be inducted by Shawn Michaels, which would be awesome to see. After that, we get Dolph Ziggler versus Daniel Bryan. And it was vote for the referee, and it was anyone from the IC ladder match. And the crowd and the internet chose Ambrose, who's probably the worst referee of all time. Probably. Entertaining as hell, but worst referee of all time. They're thrown to the outside. He's just sort of standing there, leaning on the ropes, watching them fight. I love the fact that as they're brawling over in the corner, and he sort of walks over to them as they're fading to commercial break. It's, guys, yeah, you got to get back in the ring. Just worst referee ever. In the end, Dolph Ziggler does get the win and stands tall over Daniel Bryan, which was awesome. I really enjoyed that match. It was great back and forth, as we've learned that Ziggler and Bryan can do. Also, Barrett's IC title is hanging over the ring for this. So post-match, basically immediately Ziggler grabs a great big ladder, pulls it out, and starts climbing up, and everyone from the match comes out, and they all brawl around the ring. It's a good way to sort of hype the match. There's been a lot of this whole hey, get everyone here, look, they all dislike each other, WrestleMania! It worked though. It's a trope for a reason, and the reason is because it works. We end the night with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman comes out, he's like, I'm here, here's Brock Lesnar, and yakety yak, yakety yak, yakety yak. If I haven't already told you on this match, if I haven't explained to you why this is worthwhile to go watch this match, nothing I'm going to do is going to convince you. And then he continues to pontificate for the next 8 minutes or so. But the match, really awesome stuff. I love the whole, you can't take away the title. You might as well walk into Brock Lesnar's house, take his wife, take food off his plate, rename his children, and, like, repossess his house. It was crazy, but it worked. Heyman has magic on the mic. After that, Roman Reigns comes out, comes to the crowd, stares Brock Lesnar down. Thankfully, doesn't speak. It works, though. You get the two intimidating guys face to face, and Lesnar just holds up the title in his face. Ha ha ha, smirk, and Reigns just grabs it from him. Crowd went ballistic at that point. It was the perfect way to sort of draw that energy, because you have Brock Lesnar being the unstoppable monster, being the bully, ha, I've got the title, and Roman Reigns literally just pulls it out of his hands. So Reigns is sitting there smirking, he's holding up the title, Brock Lesnar goes to grab it from him, and they're playing tug-of-war with the title for about 30 seconds or so, and then the show goes off the air. It was a strange way to end it. I know you don't want... They've had a lot of brawls. I would have preferred a brawl over playing tug-of-war with the title. Hell, have him just scoop up Reigns and F5 him. I don't know. There's a lot of things you could have done, and that was sort of the one sort of sour note of the entire show. Well, that and Natalya losing to El Torito. But, it's just a strange note to end the show on, and the note that you end the show on, what people remember the most. So, that happened. But that's my wrap-up for this week. That's Raw. This weekend is WrestleMania. I will be there live. I will be posting my thoughts afterwards. Hopefully you enjoyed this. You click on the logo right here. You can subscribe to the channel and get future updates whenever I put them out. I put out reviews on Mondays for Raw, on Wednesdays for NXT and Lucha Underground, and on Fridays for Impact Wrestling. Have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. You can also subscribe to me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. My hashtag is right, or my Twitter handle is right here. It's @MajorRampage. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Otherwise, have a good week.